For our children's sermon today, I want to show you something that I got a few weeks ago to help me when I'm having online meetings. I got these little AirPods, and maybe you have one or something like this too. Some of them, like these, are wireless, and you can just put them in your ears like this, and some of them have actual wires, and you plug them into the computer. And the reason I got these was because sometimes when I'm trying to listen to somebody online, when we're having a meeting or a class or something like that, sometimes it's hard to pay attention. It's hard to pay attention because there's all kinds of noise going on around me. Sometimes there's just too many other things happening. And these things, they've helped me sometimes be able to focus and pay attention. Maybe you've had that problem too as school starts or preschool is going on and you're trying to pay attention and there's just too many things going on in your house and it's hard to focus and pay attention. Our Bible stories today tell us about the importance of not just listening and hearing stuff around us, but really of focusing and paying attention. Paying attention to God, but also paying attention to the people that are important to us that we're supposed to be paying attention to, our parents, our teachers, our friends. And sometimes it's hard to focus and pay attention. And so our Bible stories remind us that it's not enough to just listen by saying, oh yeah, I hear stuff going on. But I really got to focus and try to find ways to pay attention to what God is saying to me and to what others are saying to me. And sometimes when we're trying to listen to other people, it's easier, right? Because you can get something like this, and you can hear and you can try to focus, or you can try to just look really intently at the teacher or your parent or your friend and try to not pay attention to what's going on outside. Sometimes listening to God, though, and really paying attention, that's harder. But you know, we can focus and pay attention to God too. Sometimes that happens when we pray. And that's why sometimes we fold our hands and we close our eyes so that we can really focus on telling God what's going on in our lives and maybe quietly listening to see what God is saying to us inside of our hearts. Sometimes we focus and pay attention to God by reading the Bible and reading those stories and finding out that, you know, sometimes the things that happen to those people in the Bible, they're like what happens to us. Maybe God is trying to tell us something by reading those stories. And you know, sometimes the most important ways that we focus and listen to God is actually by talking to each other and talking about what we think God is doing in our lives. So I'm excited for Sunday school to start up next weekend because sometimes when you have conversations with your classmates and your teachers about a Bible story or about how God has worked in somebody's life, sometimes that's the most important way to be able to focus and think about what God is saying to you and how God is moving in your life. Thank you very much for spending some time to listen and to focus on what I've been saying here today.